G'day rookies and hotshots, I'm Peter Dalmaris, a student pilot. In my last video I explained how and why I decided to become a Sky Pup. By the way, one of the things I enjoy about aviation is the abundance of nicknames. Sky Pup, Rookie and Hotshots are some of them. Anyway, in this video I talk about my first 5 hours of training back in January 2023. I trained at the Scouts Air Activity Centre in Camden, New South Wales in Australia. The Air Activity Centre Flight Camp is an excellent opportunity for Scout members to experience flight as student pilots. The Air Activity Centre is exactly why I decided to join the Scouts as a fellow. Of course, I could sign up at one of many flight schools around Sydney. However, learning to fly with the Scouts takes the experience to a new level, and I'll come back to this later. First, I'll explain the flight camp's objectives as I understand and experience them. The camp is designed to give Scouts aged 15 years and over the first aeroplane control experience. As a student, I could climb, descend, turn and fly straight and level. I even had the opportunity to stall the plane, which means to get it to fly in a way that its wings can't generate enough lift and then recover. For younger Scouts, this is an experience that in many cases has created a strong interest in aviation that resulted in a career. For me, it rekindled my obsession with aviation. Pre-pandemic, students camped on the airport grounds and did ground school and flight during the day. Post-pandemic students attend on Monday, Wednesday and Friday from morning to afternoon, and around 10 Scouts can participate in each camp. At the camp, each day started with a briefing. In the briefing, we learn some theory such as how the wing generates lift and preview what we'll do later in the plane, such as you'll practice straight and level flight. The learning objectives for this camp were to learn the effects of controls, where we learn what happens to the airplane when the pilot manipulates the ailerons, rudder and the elevators, how to fly straight and level, how to climb, descend, turn without losing or gaining altitude, and how to do climbing and descending turns, how to avoid and recognize a stall condition. Now, each of these topics brings along numerous dependencies. For example, to understand the mechanics of straight and level flight, you must understand the concepts of lift, thrust, and drag, and of course its various types. And then we've got the weight, the effects on the wing, such as lift producing device, wing characteristics, and the lift formula and stability, to name only a few things. Apart from the mechanics of flight, much of the time in ground school is used to explain aviation safety practices. The concept of airmanship is drilled again and again. This term relates to safety practices and an appropriate mindset that promotes practices such as lookout, where you actively look for other aircraft and obstacles in your airplane path and around it. The work cycle, where you simultaneously perform a lookout and monitor the aircraft's attitude and performance. There's a control heading, where your plane travels in a smooth and coordinated manner. And of course, engine handling, where you monitor oil temperature and pressure, fuel quantity, and the fuel and air mix ratios. There's also orientation, where you know where your plane is in space in relation to other planes, the airport, and other landmarks. I completed the camp in January 2023, and it's now September. What do I remember from the camp? What are my key takeaways? Now, without a doubt, it was a wonderful experience. The trainees, the flight instructors and the volunteers were all excited to be there. Some trainees were in their teens and considering an aviation career. This camp was the best start in this journey as it can be. I'm not looking for a career by doing this, but to fulfill a dream. I'm a practical and down-to-earth person, and such things feel a bit strange to me, but learning to fly for fun and fly with Scouts makes this effort extra special. In my chats with some of the instructors who are also Scouts, I discovered that they, like me, decided to learn to fly at a mature age. And not only that, but many of them were in a technology-related career in a previous life. These instructors decided to learn to fly after retiring or semi-retiring from the regular jobs. They decided to commit to something that required a lot of study, exams, money, and commitment instead of fishing or playing golf. And this was an unexpected discovery for me. I wrongly believed that learning to fly is for younger people who want to make a career out of it. And it turns out that I was wrong. With some planning and commitment, older student pilots can move through the various certifications and become private pilots, commercial pilots, or even instructors if they want it bad enough. So now, an RPL, which is the recreational pilot's license, or a PPL, which is a private pilot's license, is just the beginning. I'm now tempted to consider pursuing a commercial certification and becoming an instructor to continue discovering the immense wealth of aviation knowledge. Well, that's something I'll decide about later. But the thing is that the thought has been planted firmly in my mind, and it started at this flight camp. If you haven't done so already, I invite you to join me in my flying adventures and learn about general aviation through my training ups and downs. Click on the subscribe button and hit that bell icon to ensure you never miss a new log video. If you like this video, please click the like button to prompt the YouTube algorithm to show it to other aviation enthusiasts. And of course, you can also head over to my detailed flight training log pages on the Tech Explorations website. In these pages, I document in detail all of my experiences and learnings from each one of my training flights. These logs contain a goldmine of information for any aviation student or anyone interested in aviation. Until next time, I wish you clear skies and safe landings.